Okay, so this is the story. It's an old story about this old guy, appropriately enough, who lived all by himself way out in the high desert somewhere. Mountains all around, scrubby. Not a rich country, for sure. You gotta, kind of scrape out your survival in a place like that. And the way this guy did it, so the story says, is that he would harvest. I guess that's the right word. It's not exactly mining. He would find these gems. He would find these blue stones, these fabulous blue stones. And I'm not sure if this is true or not, but this is the story, is that out where this guy lived, somewhere, nobody knew exactly where, there were these big old rocks. They look pretty ordinary, but big old rocks up there. Nobody pays much attention to another rock up there in the high desert, but this old guy does. Because on these special rocks, on some full moon nights, not all, you gotta know the cycles and stuff, and this guy does, that these stones will weep out this blue fluid, this clear azure fluid weeps out of the fissures in these huge rocks. And it slowly hardens in the cold, full moonlight, the way it is way up there. It's crystal clear. And they're all different, right? They're all different. Size, shape. Some have inclusions of one kind or another. So anyway, that's what the old guy does, as he goes around. Knows where to go and when to find these gems. And then he takes this leather bag over his shoulder out on these treks. And in the bag, he's got some bread and cheese and some water. And he has a stack of these leaves that he gets from a special plant that grows out west of his house, I guess. And these leaves, when they're dry, are real soft and leathery. And he has a stack of these leaves, a little bundle tied with a piece of string. And when he finds these precious blue stones, and he has to find them at night, in the full moon, he gently pulls them away from the mother rock, wraps it in a leaf, and puts it into his leather bag, muttering something, nobody knows what, each and every time he finds and harvests one of these gems. And after a night, as the sun starts to come over those sharp-edged mountains over there, the man is on his way home. And there's a special kind of feeling on that morning for that guy. I mean, you can imagine it, right? His leather bag is filled with these indescribably precious blue stones, each wrapped in its leathery leaf. He has a bond with them. And he stokes the embers that he left in the fireplace and gets a fire going. And he makes some tea. And he makes some porridge out of those hard wheat grains that they sell. And as the sun rises and his little house gets warm, and the sun comes through the colorful curtains, he thinks, I'll go to town in about an hour. And he does. And he takes him to the little town, and there's a little jeweler, a joyeria town. And he puts the bag on the counter, and the man raises his eyebrows. And the man says, I've got some more of these gems. And the thing is, a lot of people knew part of this story, or this part or that part, but not the whole thing, and they didn't believe it when they heard it. But so they thought he was a crazy old guy, right, with a leather bag. Didn't talk much. When he did, it didn't make any sense. And so they thought that, those blue stones were just a figment, right? Didn't exist. Couldn't. Nothing that fine or precious, as the word would have them, could, they thought. And so when he opened his leather bag and pulled out the bundles of leaves, each leaf wrapped around a gem, the two men looked at each other, and with the smiles, which are very slight, the smiles of the high desert, can be easily missed by city folk, but they were there. Because they both knew that even if these precious stones didn't really exist, that they were truly, truly gorgeous.